Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my stream. Going to be doing shoulders today. Pretty quick one. Got started late. Seems to be the theme lately, but just have a lot of responsibilities, things to get done. So sometimes I start late. Just a basic intro. This is a stream of my workouts doing a body transformation this year. The thing that sets my transformation apart from others is that I'm not using any sort of supplements. So that's no like protein mixes, like protein shakes, protein powders, no creatine, no pre-workouts, no like BCAAs, nothing extra. Just trying to get all my nutrients from the food that I eat. Just curious to see how it goes, and decided to give myself a year away from any sort of supplements to see what I can do without it. Not opposed to supplements. You want to take them, great. I think you should do whatever works best for you, and have fun. So here we go. We're gonna warm up with the 10 pounders, 4.53 kilograms. Today I gave one of my kids a sandwich, and they were so excited, and they were like, "Oh boy, oh boy!" And they were so cute, and I was like smiling at them, and then I stopped smiling because I had this thought of like, this definitely feels like a simulation, and it made me think, how do I know? It's always a fun thought, And I was probably, I think I was like 13 or 14 when The Matrix came out, so that definitely played a key role in my childhood. I told my grandma, and she was like, "No, like you're real, and so is your child." And it's like, you know what? Come to think of it, Grandma, you always made like perfect cookies. Maybe you're part of the simulation too. Before the Matrix, though, like I would say before, like I was probably even like 7 years old. I remember thinking about like, how do you know that everything else is real? How do you know that anything's real besides you? And that was definitely a thought that as a kid took me for a loop. All right, switching to 20 pounds, 9.07 kilograms. Now, the nature of reality is always very fascinating. I think part of what makes simulation seem so plausible to a lot of us, though, is the fact that so many of the things that we do on a regular basis like aren't real, and so many things that we engage in and conversations we engage in or behaviors we engage in are not actually like based off of something that's real. It's all made up, whether it's money and currency or social standing, uh, all of it's very fascinating. How do you view hierarchy of like who's winning in society versus who's losing? Because there's that interesting thought where at two extremes of society, for the very wealthy and the very poor, you have people that they get money they never worked for and don't work for the money that they have. Very wealthy, like their kids that get from inheritance, and then people that get money from the government don't work. One is supposed to be winning and the other one's not, but neither one of them is actively contributing. It makes you wonder then, like who is actually winning in society. It makes you wonder if the middle class is actually the best place to be in society, where you work hard but you have plenty, you know, and you also have the knowledge that there's always more to achieve, thus inspiring you to work more. Versus if you're at the very top and your parents and ancestors achieved everything possible, I feel like you might be stunted in your growth, because you might think like, why am I going to go to work to not even equal my parents? It's like there's that guy, forget what his name is, but he's been an astronaut, a doctor, a fighter pilot, um, and maybe a Navy SEAL. I can't remember the last one. But he's done all these amazing things, right? Just super amazing life. And you think, like, when you're his kid, how much harder it is how much you're gonna work to have to ever have value in comparison to what your father's done. And maybe his kids don't feel that way, but that's why it's important to run your own race, to set up your own idea of success, determine how to make your ambition best serve you. Determine your code of honor, like your values, what's important, and then honor that as much as you can. I think definitely learning how to be happy with your own success is key. All that to say, it's quite possible that we're in a simulation. I think it's important to make sure you're not a, if you're abiding within simulation of the world, make sure that you're not a slave to the simulation to where you can't ever step out of line, where you have no autonomy. Have you become consumed with going along to get along? I think you should find at least some way to differentiate your life from others, to show where you stand apart. And I don't think it necessarily has to be like, I'm rebelling, like I'm gonna pick something ridiculous. Like there's lots of ways to choose to not stand up or to stand out. For me, for a long time, it was like basic greetings. I hated the insincerity of asking people how they were doing with the, you know, expectation that we would one word answer each other with no real contribution to the conversation or no real interest in the welfare of someone next to us. And even when they give a reply that is showing that there's, things aren't great for them, and then you just don't take any interest and keep moving. Like, oh, okay. Because who knows, you might have the very answer that they need to get better in their life. Something I did for a long time, one of my favorite things to do was to look at people in public and assess their attire and find the thing that they put on that day that they wished would stand out, whether it's like a watch, earrings, a necklace, something, and just take notice of it and let them know that you noticed. Like, oh, those are nice earrings, or wow, you really coordinated your socks today. Like, you matched them to your tie. Something, anything. Anything to make a person feel seen. I feel like there's a lot of people that go through life without feeling like they've been seen. It's not hard to do. I'll tell you this one. It's a really fun one to do. Uh, and I'm not begging for. It's not me begging for a compliment, but complimenting like guys' muscles and stuff when they clearly been working out and trying hard. Like, hey man, like way to go! You look solid. Something, and especially when it's randomly in public, you watch them like get excited that somebody noticed that they've been working hard. No matter how much like there's like confidence in people that they've they know they've worked out, they know they're strong. There's an element where they're always excited to hear somebody notice it, someone to point it out, and then they know that it's not just in their head. And if you want to next level it, try to look for the guys that are clearly worked out or clearly strong, but don't show like a bulk. Like if you notice that they're strong, that really makes them happy because they always feel insecure that their muscles don't show up as big outside of the gym.